Welcome back to my channel, man. This is a Talks with Rob. I appreciate y'all for just clicking on the video. I'm excited for this one, man. So the other day I was just really reflecting on the last like 5-6 years of my life, man, and I realized that I've been operating in extreme highs and extreme lows. I couldn't find a period or a season where I just felt like I was maintaining, not really cruising and being comfortable, but just maintaining. So I went deeper. I went a layer deeper. Why have I been extreme highs? Why have I had extreme highs and extreme lows? And I mean like extreme highs where I am locked in on my purpose. I'm around the right people who are in alignment with where I'm going and who I am. And then I have seasons where I'm low. I'm working at fast food restaurants. Not to say fast food restaurants are bad, but completely opposite of what I am desiring out of life. And it's extreme. It's very extreme. It's like, you know, tours, I'm traveling, I'm doing what I really want to do. I'm shaping, and you can see the pathway. And then we have seasons where I'm just completely away from where I was, and it's like, okay, I went deeper. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why, Rob, why is this? And maybe you guys relate to that. Maybe you can kind of look back at the last 3 to 5 years and say, man, like, I see myself, I see that, you know. So a few years into making music, man, I had made music with a few people, and I look at them now and they are signed to major labels. So then I started to kind of go negative, and I'm like, man, why am I not there? Or I look when I am at those highs, I'm like, okay, I'm around these people and they all kind of go on to be full-time entrepreneurs, or they, you know, we have conversations and like, yo, I'm trying to do this, and this, and then you look up and they're there, and I'm still in the same spot, or I've descended. Like, what is the difference? Because we wouldn't be having these conversations, we wouldn't be in the same arena if it was like a talent thing or a skills thing or whatever the case may be. So why are other people ascending and I'm descending? How do I get to this plateau and then I'm a year later somewhere completely different? What is going on? When I think about the lows, man, I just think about being stuck, man. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever felt that way, but just being stuck, like feeling like you're not going anywhere, having no vision, like praying for guidance, or maybe you're not praying, but you don't know where you're going. Just feeling stuck. But I found out as I unpacked the layers, man, it was just my consistency, my ability to maintain. And I think about the Dr. Dre quote. He says something along the lines of like, you know, making $1 million is easy, but it's maintaining it is the hardest part. And when I first heard that, I'm like, what? Making $1 million? What? That's to get the million is impossible. Once I got it, I'm cool. Like, I'm going, you know what I mean? And now that I've matured and I'm like, wow, I get what he was saying. It's not the aspect and it's not the fact of getting to where you're trying to go, because I've seen this. If I look at my highs and lows, if I'm on a graph, it's like this, very, very extreme. There's no like high, maintain, high. That's what it should be. It's high all the way back down. High, it's extreme. So I realized that my ability to maintain a certain temperature or a certain level of energy or success was hurting me. Consistency was ruining my life. Like, me not being able to be consistent was literally ruining my life. So, man, when I discovered this, man, I was hurt, man. I broke down. I felt defeated again. And then as I really started to write down and watch and see, I started to notice patterns. So I started like tracking myself, like what is causing these huge dips? Like, I started monitoring myself. Is it laziness? Do I just get lazy when I get at the top? Or or not at the top, but just do I get lazy when I hit the place where I want to be? What is it? You know, another layer as we unpack was I had a tough time falling in love with the journey, especially when it became to being an artist, being a musician. Even when I, look back at when I was playing basketball, I had a tough time falling in love with the journey, and that's what we must do. We must fall in love with what we're doing, and while we're doing it, being in the moment. I think every time I would hit these levels where I feel like I'm ascending, I feel like I'm getting to where I finally want to go, I start to look at results. I start to look at my goals, and it's like, oh, it's not happening fast enough. So I had to teach myself to just fall in love with the journey, like really be in the moment and stop demanding so much out of the journey, demanding so much out of the things I love, and just love them. So now that I'm in a season of consistency and maintaining, I'm fighting that, because we all, as we're doing something, there's going to be moments where it feels stagnant, where it feels like it's just not growing or moving or whatever the case may be. Those seasons will happen. So get over it. That's what I had to tell myself. Get over it. And I may be talking to you, like, get over it. Like, those moments are gonna happen. So we can't let those moments detour. And I used to trick myself and say, oh, wait, if something's not moving, something's not growing, whatever the case may be, then it must not be meant. Must not be meant to be. Like, this must be the sign to go in the other direction. When in fact, it's really telling me to double down. I'm almost there. Learning the tricks of your mind, being watchful, being mindful of your tricks, because we can trick ourselves into a whole lot of stuff. And you'll see yourself in a 6-month cycle of life. You're repeating the same 6 months, which it makes sense because I see myself going up, down, up, down, up, down. There was no ascension, constant ascension, right? Just repeating. So just being mindful of who you are and writing down your tendencies so that you can compensate for them. You can knock it, nip it when it happens. I was reading in Ecclesiastes, I believe that's how you say it, Ecclesiastes 11, and it was just talking about working and waking up in the morning and to the time you go to sleep, just working and not being concerned with the results, right? It says, for you do not know which will prosper, this or that, or whether both alike will be good. Like, we don't know if working on this or working on that, or this video or that video, we don't know what's going to take off or what's going to be good or what's going to be bad. But it just says work, be consistent. Wake up in the morning, tonight, and work, and just fall in love with the work, with the journey, with what you're doing. Remember why you started. The last piece that I unpacked from the layer was just, man, I had found myself in such a cycle of scarcity. When I did end up at jobs at fast food, money was scarce. I didn't understand that, God is resourceful. He's abundant. This world is abundant. Opportunities are abundant. I didn't see that. So I had a scarce mind. So I found myself in a cycle, in a loop of doing things that I didn't love. And then I realized that was in direct correlation to me being consistent, because it's extremely hard to be consistent. But it's extremely hard to be consistent doing something that you hate. I was constantly doing jobs and taking on things that I didn't love. That consistency bone that I needed in my body, I never took time to grow it. Like, I never made that a part of my character because I was constantly doing things that I didn't love. So I was constantly hopping from 9 to 5 to 9 to 5. I was constantly hopping from season to season, doing different things, tricking myself. And the root of it, from layer to layer to layer, the root of it was, man, I had to stop doing things that I didn't love. So now, no matter how long it takes me to acquire something or to get something or whatever the case may be, like, if it's not doing something that I love, I won't do it. I won't do it, because I know that me taking that step down that path of doing something that I don't love is going to send me in this loop of, okay, I'm doing something I don't love. 3 months down the line, I hate it. I want to quit and pivot. So I end up pivoting. Now I'm not being consistent. And since I'm not being consistent, I'm now going down this path, which is downward. I'm not ascending. I'm not maintaining. So the real life-changing thing for me was just like, man, I need to just start choosing stuff and doing stuff with my work and my time. Of course, in life, we have to do things we don't like. Not saying that, but I'm saying with the career that I choose, where I really choose to make, how I choose to make my money, where I choose to spend most of my time and how I spend it, really taking a stance and praying, not just for a job, but God, I pray for a job that I actually love, right? And that changed the entire dynamic for me. So hopefully that helps you guys out, man. My story time, me just kind of unpacking this live right now. Just remembering to be consistent. This is a season of maintaining for me. Whatever I touch, I am, one, loving it, and then two, I'm ready to do it for the next 3 to 5 years. Like, that's just the mindset. Now, if life and God, pivot me out and it evolves, cool, but I'm not stepping away from it, right? I'm not, because I feel myself on a path of ascension now. I'm hitting the goals. I'm making the money that I want to make. Like, all of the things I prayed for are now happening. And I can feel myself wanting to slow down. I can feel myself wanting to not be consistent. I can feel the excuses. Like, I'm catching myself, and it's such a beautiful thing. I'm catching myself. So I am fighting every day we got to keep going. We have to keep going. The days I wake up and it's like, I'm cool, or when I want to be complacent or want to get too comfortable, I'm fighting against that. It's being consistent. When you're around the people you're supposed to be around, when everybody is flourishing, you feel good. Maintain that. Stay there. Do whatever it takes. Stay there, right? Stay there. And when negativity comes, conflict comes, whatever the case may be, that's not a sign to pivot. Stick through. If you do need to pivot, it'll be on the other side of sticking through. The pivot does not happen prior to sticking through. It's sticking through, and then the pivot will naturally happen. And I had to learn that. I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all just for sitting in here. This felt like, I guess, just therapy. But hopefully I helped you. Hopefully my journey is helping you. So I plan to make more videos like this and just more talks with Rob and things that I am dissecting about my life and just unpacking, and hopefully there's some layers in there that you can relate to, and hopefully I can inspire you to unpack these things, especially us as Black men in this world who have a lot of layers and a lot of trauma on trauma and a lot of just bad habits and tendencies and just generational curses. I'm not even gonna call it curses. It's just generational mess that we've inherited just from seeing as we grow up, that we just need to unpack and be able to catch ourselves on so that we can stop repeating the same 6 months. So I'll see y'all on the next video, man. Thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Rob. I'm out.
Wake up in the morning, see my shorty looking right, yeah. Money calling, I be stressed, it text me all the time, yeah. Feel the sunlight,